So recently, I have been getting kind of back into reading fan fiction again,
Oh God.
but not just like old fan fiction, like new fandom fan fiction, which has been an absolute trip because I haven't. If I've read fan fiction, it's usually been either Fruits Basket or older stuff that I read a long time ago that I really like.
Right.
But I've really dived in and uh just been reading whatever is the ships I like in this one particular fandom that I keep bringing up because I'm utterly obsessed with it right now. Um
hmm
and as I've been going through it, I found a lot of really good ones and a lot of really spicy ones. And I'm just like, this is what I need in my life. I I've been appreciating it so well. Um for this cute little couple in Idol 7. But I've
Of
also
course.
noticed that it's also like when you read like fan fiction, especially when it's like a multi-ship one, you kind of like are like, "Oh, I kind of like that ship." You're like, oh, I didn't, I like I've seen their dynamic before, but as a ship that kind of has potential. Like, I'm not hard to sell to. Like, I could pretty much ship most things. Um,
hmm
but uh it's definitely gotten me on a few trains for some other ships that I'm like, okay, I can see that. And then there's some that I see frequently that appear that no matter how often they appear, I'm like, no, honey, I I can't do this. This is not going to work. And you'll be reading it and you're like, oh, I love my ship. I love my ship. And you get to that like one little paragraph moment where they're like hinting at the other ship and you're like, okay, dropping this entire fic now.
Oh my
Because
God.
I'm like, I can, because it's going to appear more than once. And I'm just like, I'm here for this. Sometimes if this is really good, maybe I can read through it. But a lot of times I'm like, no, because they're being dragged into this whole plot point, so I'm gonna see it. And to me, it's just it doesn't compute, and it feels very like it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't go together. Like I can't
Right.
see this character in this relationship. And some people can, and that's fine. But like for me, I'm like I don't see it, and I'm just gonna read something else. I don't like leave a comment or anything. I'm just like, oh, this is my prerogative to just leave and be like, not for me. Woo, wish you the best.
You're
Thank you
better
for the
than me. I
journey.
will. I will leave the mean comment. I'll be like, man, your
No,
ship's trash.
no.
Don't write this. As someone that used to write fanfic of horrible ships, I feel like I've earned that right.
Oh, I mean, I love writing fanfics of cursed ships. I have like a cursed ship generator that I have, and I will sometimes for writing practice just write whatever cursed ship comes up, and I will force myself to make it work. Like I can make
Oh my
anything
God.
work. I just don't always agree with
Yeah,
it.
I agree. So mine was always I did mine based off commissions, so people would pay me to write their ship,
hmm
and I'm like, I can't get behind this whatsoever, but I can make it work. I hated it, but that's why I have my like strong opinions on a lot of ships as well.
hmm
So
Yeah,
even canon ones.
it was so funny because I was talking about before we started this. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have an easy time finding a bunch of things that fit this category." And as I was doing it, I realized, oh, I don't have that many strong feelings about certain ships.
See, mine was I can come up with so many, but I hate them all for the same reason. So I was trying to find something where I don't just hate them for that same reason. Because I have this one little pet peeve for both canon and non canon ships that happens a lot, and I'm just like, no. But I tried to find some stuff that's outside of that where I can find other things wrong with it that aren't just my personal pet peeve. Granted, half my list is still that my big pet peeve. I also limited myself to just one per series because I could go on for hours about all the ships in Naruto that are trash. So
Yeah, I also made sure I had a lot of different series. Except I
mm,
have one series that's just like I put a bunch next to it, but I made sure I found a
yeah,
giant list of other other series too. I was like, we shouldn't talk about Bleach for an hour.
I even have some on here that are from series I hate. Just like I don't like the series, but I also just hate the ship even more than I hate the series. I want to talk about it.
I have 2 ships from series that I'm not a big fan of. So anyways, the theme today is is we are talking about ships we don't like and kind of why we don't like it. Now, I'm going to say, at least with the ships that I have, like, it's fine if you like them. It's not a big deal, but these are ones I personally don't like.
No, I'm going to say if you ship the ones I ship for, your taste is trash. So, you have problems. Go seek help.
Oh, right. So, did you want to go first, Cyan, or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first. You're opening this episode, so.
Do I open it up with a big can of worms, or do I ease us in? Okay, I'm gonna small can of worms. I'll do a small can of worms.
Okay.
So one of the ships that this is a series I really like, and Cyan, you also really like. But I personally don't like this ship just because I just don't think it works. And the ship is Yuki and Toru romantically.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of that one. I can get behind that.
No, you can tell that, like, because Fruits Basket is all about, like, Yuki kind of exploring his feelings and being like, how do I really feel? And he very much is not coming to that conclusion with Toru.
No.
And seeing him kind of, like, force this romantic perspective was already kind of hard to watch in canon. But, like, it's hard to watch, but it's also endearing because you're like, you're learning about yourself. But, like, seeing it, like, actually enact, I just can't see it. I think it's it feels very forced, and you can tell this Toru's very heads over heels for someone else. So
yeah, even in the original, when I first got into Fruits Basket and watched the OG anime, like, I never could see them together, and they did kind of try and push it in that one.
Yeah,
they tried to leave it ambiguous, and I still couldn't see it. But if you read the manga or watch the newest anime, and you know how it ends for both of them, and you still ship it, kindly see yourself off the internet, in my personal opinion, because they both found happiness. Sometimes I don't know if you're quiet because you cut out, or you're quiet because you're quiet.
I was quiet because I cut out. I was like, well, maybe she's still talking, and I don't know. But I like Yuki and Toru's relationship platonically, so I love their interactions normally. But it is I can't see them as a romantic dynamic. So if I'm ever reading a fic, unless the whole fic is like Yukiru going into Kyoru or something like that, because of like stuff that happens, or like there's an event, like I'll explore that dynamic, but I don't like seeing Yukiru as like an endgame ship. Like, it just doesn't work for me.
I can agree behind that completely.
So, like I said, it's small can of worms. Not the big can of worms. So
right.
Right.
So mine, I'll pick one from around the same era as when I first watched Fruits Basket. And this one, problematic for a few reasons, and it's not really popular anymore because it's not an anime series that's popular anymore. Little magical girl series called Shugo Chara.
Okay. Yo, go ahead.
Yeah. So there is this huge shipping movement way back when that shipped Uto and Ikto. Uto being the one who has the angel and the demon Charas. That's the pop star, and Ikto's who's like kind of the main antagonist / love interest for the main character. One really big problem with this is that they're siblings. Granted, Uto, when she first sees Ito on screen, she is very much clobbers him, like tackle hugs him, clobbers him, and just like, I love you so much, and like we're gonna be together forever. And it's like, okay, yeah, kind of cute, but also she's his little sister. It's revealed later on that's his little sister, and she's just super attached to him because she likes her big brother. Stop making it weird. Like, there's already a lot of problematic romances in that show, which I don't really find a problem with because it's anime, cartoon, characters, fictional, completely. Do whatever you want with it. It's whatever. But can we not ship siblings together in an anime that aren't incest anime? Because it's weird. Okay.
I'm laughing because I'm looking at a few ships on my list that I had. I'm laughing.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, that's definitely weird. Yeah, don't especially if it's early introduced. Like, it's one thing if you're debated into it, but it's another where it's very straightforward at the very beginning. These guys are siblings. Don't ship.
It is debated in there, but it's also revealed in the same episode as debated. It's like she tackle hugs him and is like, I love you so much, and by the end of the episode, he's like, yeah, this is my little sister.
Oh yeah, like, no, that's very
there's
clear.
No hinting at this at all. It's just straight up like, yeah, they're siblings. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Ikta gets a lot of ship bait as well with another family member of his that is his cousin, but that's a whole other thing. But my main one is just don't ship him with his little sister. It's weird.
Yeah,
there's better ships.
And Cyan, did you hear that they announced that there's going to be a Shugo Chara sequel?
I hope it gets. I doubt it will get an anime, but I would hope it would get an anime.
I have no idea, but it is the resurgence of magical girl sequels. It's really weird.
Fucking God,
I know,
right?
Yeah,
because Tokyo Mew Mew got the readaptation, so I'm like, Shugo Chara, please.
Well,
please?
Peachy Peachy Pitch also got a sequel too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's actually licensed by Kodansha, so you can like read it on their app. And then Shugo Chara just got announced. I think there was one other one that got announced. I don't remember what it was.
I mean, they did do a Shugo Chara, it was a Tokyo Mew Mew sequel, wasn't it, with a male protagonist?
Yes, they announced that one.
Yeah. So I remember seeing that as well. But the male protagonist of that, I remember looking a lot like Ito from Shugo Chara, and I remember a lot of people making that comparison.
I look forward to seeing more of those.
Yeah, I love a good old school magical girl series, so.
Hell yes. I'm excited to see their resurgence and coming back.
Please. I'm so sick of this like dead zone of magical girl series thanks to Madoka Magica. It hurts. It's like this is the shoujo medium that I take part in, is the magical girl series, and they robbed me of it. And I hate it. What's your second pick?
So we're gonna stay on the theme of siblings. I have Yuki and Kaname from Vampire Knight.
Oh my god. Yeah, fair. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, it's just her relationship with Zero is so much more interesting.
I mean, her relationship with anybody is more interesting than her. I mean, granted, yes, no siblings, kind of, sort of. Depends on how far you get in that story.
Yes, but, yeah.
For all accounts and purposes, related, weird, grow up together thinking siblings, weird. Ugh.
Yeah, just between that and just like he's so far like removed from her that she kind of just like still even reveres him like throughout, even after like the review. It's more like I revere you, and it's still kind of more like an idolization relationship than it is more of a like I understand and we're like on the same wavelength. Granted, like she tries to make like steps towards like understanding him, but even so, like the entire time and until like the very end, it's just like kind of her her feelings are based off this admiration this like childish admiration that she's been working towards bringing down, but like it just doesn't work. Like they're not on the same mental level by any means. Like he's childizing her, and she has him up on a pedestal, and she's trying to understand him, and it just they have those complex those complex feelings, which make for interesting stuff. They don't. It just doesn't work with them. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm. No,
and then that's if you toss
not.
out the sibling thing out the door to begin with. So
yeah, it's there's a lot of things wrong with Vampire Knight. That is definitely the number one thing I think is wrong with Vampire Knight. I love it, but I hate that part of it.
Yeah, same.
I love so many things about Vampire Knight. I can admit there's some problems with it. That's the one thing I just don't accept. I'm just...
Yeah, Vampire Knight. That's... Yeah, so we brought up... We're back to Vampire Knight. That's where we're at. So, Yuki and Kaname...
Yeah. All right. I'll keep on the theme of age gaps. Massive age gaps. All right. And this one's gonna be fun because I'm gonna have to explain this one to you because it's Dragon Ball Z.
Oh. Yeah, you'll have to explain that one to me because I'm like, oh yeah.
So first, there's Trunks, who is the son of Vegeta and Bulma, which I'm sure you at least know who those characters are.
Yes.
At least I look. So, little kid in Super is shipped together with this character named Mai. Also, in Super, a little child. On surface level, perfectly fine. The problem with this is, Mai is not actually a child. Mai was wished back by the dragon, the eternal dragon that grants wishes, to be a child again. She is actually like an 80-year-old woman in a child's body that is pretending to be a child to live off of Bulma's household because Bulma's rich. So, yeah. They kind of sort of made it canon in Super as well, and I'm not happy about it because it is very uncomfortable for me. Granted, when they make it canon, it's future Trunks because he comes back from the future to tell them, like, oh yeah, Earth's in danger again, and he's like mourning the death of Mai because they're like teenagers and they were in love or something, and like she was like left behind so he could come to the past or whatever. He doesn't know if she's dead or not. And I'm like, okay, still teenage Trunks and teenage 80-year-old Mai, not okay.
Yeah.
Please. Trunks was one of my favorite characters from the original Dragon Ball Z series. At least for his whole story arc in the Cell Saga, Future Trunks Saga, everything. So fucking good. Liked him again in GT. Great. He was a nice little happy teenage boy. Super, what do they do with him? They make him a child and they ship him together with an 80-year-old. No thank you. Because I will put it, like, I might even be wrong on the ages of this. Mai and her little trio were the main villains of Dragon Ball, which Dragon Ball is when Goku was a kid, and Mai and her group were adults trying to hunt down Goku or fight Goku.
Oh.
So Mai is older than Goku, who is the same age as Trunks' dad, so definitely grandmother age.
We love Grandma.
Yeah, I don't care if
like
she's
that.
in a baby body. It's still weird. And the fact that she's also like blushing at this little child, being sweet to her is also concerning because, ma'am, you're 80. Stop, please. Don't do this. I'm okay with a little age gap every now and then, especially if it's Immortals, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But if it's like, age gaps very common in anime, especially very common in Japanese culture.
Yes.
Not that big of a deal. 80-year-old and a 7-year-old, not okay. That's where I draw the line. I think it's a pretty bold line to draw there too.
That is a pretty bold line. that is like that's not like a line anymore. That is just like a square or a rectangle.
That is a border to a country. That is the entire wall that Trump wanted to build.
Oh.
That is what that is.
I hate that you just said that.
It's the same level of disgust on either front. It's fine. Yeah. What's your third?
So we're gonna stay on age gaps.
God.
I am laughing that we have like so many like these are the reasons. Oh hey, they overlap a lot.
It's fine, and we're gonna get to the point where I'm gonna have the same reasoning for all of them because we're burning through all my regular reasonings.
These are like my like niche ones on my list too. So I put the one of the animes you think of when you hear age gap. Buddy Drop, Rin and Daikichi in the manga. Hell no. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
When I was reading this, because I was reading this before the anime came out, because I saw, this is like a cute, like, father-daughter relationship thing, and I'm like, okay, I was reading it, impressionable. And the entire time, I'm, like, shipping, like, Rin with, like, her childhood friend. I'm like, they're so cute together. I love them. 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 And then they got older, and I'm like, oh my god, there's gonna be development now that they're older. And then I was like, what the fuck is this? No. What are you doing with my Rin?
Literally the only thing I know about Bunny Drop until you talked about it to me, because that's all I ever heard about it.
No, like it was genuinely like a really good series up to that point. Like it was just like the relationship was really fun. There was nothing creepy about it at all. Like it was genuinely a great series about a daughter and a father, and well, someone who's like suddenly thrown into the position of a father. And it was like so good because there's nothing weird or creepy about it. There's no elements of that. And then they're older. And the first part of them being older, there's still nothing like that until she develops a crush on her dad. And I'm like, no, stop. This is weird. Don't do this. And like, to go like further into it, like she's the one who pushes this relationship forward. Like most of the time is like, no, this is weird. And then like eventually like he breaks down and just accepts it. And I'm like, no, you're the parental figure. Why are you doing this? It's frustrating. So no, I was so mad. I made sure I finished the thing. I still finished the thing, and I sat there and I'm like, there is no manga. There is only the anime for this one. So. Watch the anime. Don't read the manga. You don't hear that often from me, but you're hearing it right now.
Valid. Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
But yeah, that shit. I just no. Like, she was so cute with her childhood friend. Why? It's fine.
Yeah.
We could have had a cute childhood friend to lovers' little romance, and they took it away for an age gap. I'm so mad.
Oh my god. That's uncomfortable.
This is something I don't think I'll ever get over. I will always be so mad.
I don't blame you. I have my next one. It'll also technically be an age gap, but I don't dislike it because of the age gap.
Okay.
The premise of this entire ship, I kind of like.
Okay.
It is the people in it that I hate. And it is Meliodas and Elizabeth in Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, okay.
So they just make me so uncomfortable because Elizabeth is looking for the sins and she runs into Meliodas, the first one that she finds or whatever. And the first thing he does is fucking grope her tits.
Yeah.
And she's just fine with it the entire time. And every time they're on screen together, he's touching her inappropriately or something, or like lifting up her skirt or doing something, and she's just like, whatever. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like, get mad, slap him, do a Sango to a Moroku, something. Have a reaction. He is just... I'm okay with pervy characters. I have no problem with pervy characters. I just feel like they should be treated as outcasts within their series for being the pervert, because please have consequences. And, like, because, like, yeah, Sanji's kind of frowned upon for his simping, and, you know, Moroku gets slapped by every woman he comes on and touches their booties and stuff. Why is he getting off scot-free? Because Elizabeth has no personality other than to be the catalyst for this entire series. I understand that she is apparently the reincarnation of his lost love or whatever, and they're like destined to never be together or whatever bullshit. I've only watched first season. I could not get past the second season. I tried, because every time they're on screen, I want to peel my skin off to feel more comfortable. It is that unnerving, because I'm just like, please do something else. Please stop touching her. Please stop him. Anybody, somebody, please stop this interaction. But yeah, as apparently they're like, she's the reincarnation, and he's just like, yeah. Apparently he immediately knows this is the reincarnation, and some deep set part of her reincarnated mind or whatever, she's slightly aware that it's him, even though she doesn't have any memories or something. I don't know how that works. He's like an immortal, so she's just like some teenage girl, and he's just an immortal guy. And again, age gap, not really the problem here. It's every interaction they have on screen.
Yeah.
It's not fun to deal with. And I actually really like the premise of Seven Deadly Sins. I really like the direction it was going. The fact that these two characters out of this entire cast were that uncomfortable for me to drop it means a lot. Because I also really love ecchi stuff. I like perverted anime. I watch a lot of really shitty ecchi anime. I'll watch High School DxD before I'll watch this shit again.
Yeah, that's a lot from you, because you do watch a lot of like stuff that I'm like, I don't think I'll watch that.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. There's another entry on this list that's gonna prove just how trashy my taste can be on this matter. I just could not stomach 2 seasons of these two characters, much less watch further than that. I don't care about how bad the animation gets further on, because I never made it that far. It doesn't matter. I don't need to see better animation of him groping her tits every 5 seconds. It's fine. I'm good.
You good? Yep. Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to see that either. I'm like, no, sexual assault is not, or harassment is not funny. It's like,
No.
I'm
okay with it in a slapstick manner. Like, again, Moroku touches a woman's butt, immediately gets slapped and dragged away by Sango.
But like, someone's stopping it. That's the thing.
Yes!
Someone's drawing a line and stopping it, being like, this isn't okay. This is bad.
Yes! Either by the person being assaulted or by a third party that's just like, okay, we're used to your antics, we're pulling you away by your ear, it's whatever. Like, there is somebody there. Literally nobody bats an eye at Elizabeth just being groped. And Elizabeth also is just like, oh, you're doing this again. Okay. And just continues talking about whatever she's talking about. I'm like, yeah. Alright. Next one.
Let's see. Do I have anything that could segue into? Not really. So I'm gonna dive into this one here. So you know the series Katekyo Hitman Reborn.
Oh, of course.
All right. So they have that whole shipping system. They have a huge shipping culture.
Yep.
And it's insane. So I
am very curious on who you're gonna pick on this one now.
I am very so it's funny because with Katekyo Reborn, I'm okay with most ships from the series. Like even like the really fucked up ones, I'm usually okay with. The one that just I can't get behind, that drives me insane, is R27 or Reborn and Suna together. I can't fucking do it.
Yeah, no.
Like, he's their tutor. Like, you could ship Suna with anyone else and I'd be totally game, but I cannot have him shipped with Reborn. And I'm not even I'm not even referring to like baby Reborn. I'm talking like even adult Reborn. Like, you can't. I just can't do it.
Yeah, because this is another situation of like a 60-year-old man in a baby body.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but like he's like their tutor, and like he's fostering like Suna and making him like this great, this mafia boss, and like Suna has so many other people he could be shipped with. Like, Reborn's gotta be the one person he can go to be like, hey man, I got issues. Like, what? Like, no, don't take that away from him. Like, if he has to go to other people about like other things going on, like, hey, I'm having this issue with Reborn, how about this? It's like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Like, Reborn is his corner of who to go to when there's like an issue going on.
right.
But I can't see, like, that is because you have people in your corner, and then you have like your romantic relationships, like that's just like how it is. Your corner shouldn't also be your romantic relationship.
Definitely not.
So you like your relationship can be like a aspect of a corner, but you need to have a separate corner. And Reborn is Suna's corner, not his romantic corner.
That's
that, and I just every time I look at it, I'm like, I can do Suna with like Zanza's, I can do Suna with like all these other people. I just Reborn, I don't know what it is. Like, I could probably even do Suna and Colonello. I mean, for all I care, I just could not do Reborn. Like, it just no.
Yeah, I 100% see that. I've never really thought, when I think of like Reborn ships, I never think of the ships that involve the Akbaleno. Because I know they exist, I just like to pretend they don't. So I always forget that is the one. Like, unless it's shipping the babies together, that's fine. But
your brain immediately went to where my brain went.
There's a few in there that I'm...
Go ahead.
Yeah. But the ones that, like... Because each of them end up training one of Suna's group, and there's a lot of ships that go in between the babies and the trainees, and I like to pretend they don't exist. I live in my bubble. People who do that are weird.
Okay, well, but not as a baby though. But there's one ship that I'm like, okay, maybe I'd be okay with that one, but like I can't do it with Reborn. Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. It's I can't.
I just I popped in my head. I'm like, I can do that one. It's not my choice, but like I could do that one, but no.
There are so many good ships in Reborn. If you have to resort to that as being your favorite ship, seek help. Please.
I should probably seek help. I have a ship that I'm not going to talk about Reborn that I shouldn't like, but I do like it, and I shouldn't. I very much shouldn't. But I'm not going to talk about it. We're not discussing that today.
I have two ships I stan in Reborn, and I've written a lot about them. So
yeah, I had one other ship written for Reborn I didn't like, but it's not as strong as the R27.
Fair.
And R27 sounds like a rating for like oh, you have to be 27 years old to read this.
Oh my god.
It does.
Nobody would abide by that rule.
No one would. I didn't abide by it when I was 16, and I'm not gonna buy it now that I'm over the age of 27.
Alright. I'm gonna pick a fight.
Oh.
I'm gonna pick a fight with my next one. Not with you. I don't think you're gonna care about this one. So.
Oh, okay. I was ready for a fight because I don't remember where you stand on something, so I'm like have a fight ready.
there is probably at least two on here you might fight me on. But this one, very beloved within its community. Not the most hated ship in well, not even close to the most hated ship in the series. I'm going Naruto and Hinata.
That's fine.
Yeah, I hate it. Grant, this is coming from somebody who loves Boruto. Like, I'm actively watching Boruto, and I'm not caught up, of course, but like, I enjoy it. I know if these two didn't get together, Boruto would not happen. But here is where my problem comes in with most of my problems with ships. I hate when one party is so down bad for the other party, but the other party so clearly has no interest whatsoever. If it is so one-sided that you don't even get acknowledged, it is not a ship. I'm sorry. It is sunk. Get the fuck out of here. The fact that Hinata, alright, confessed her feelings while trying to save Naruto, like she had her whole moment where she got thrown around like a fucking ragdoll by Pain, and she was, you know, confessing her love and saying how much she admired him, and like she had the nice little flashback and everything. And then Naruto gets free and goes, "You killed my teacher and you killed my sensei. I can't let you go." Does not mention anything about Hinata, who's probably dead somewhere in a crater. Only mentions Jiraiya and Kakashi. And it's just like immediately just goes full beast mode and, you know, does all the shit. But also, fight's done. Doesn't say anything to Hinata. They don't really exchange words. He talks to like everybody else, but does not exchange words. And then we have the entire rest of Shippuden where it is never mentioned or brought up again. Because that is how little Hinata weighs on his fucking mind. After that, it was just, oh, yeah, she confessed her feelings, that's no big deal, whatever. I hate that movie so much, the last movie where it just, like, ties everything together, and it's like, oh, yeah, you were always there for me, and I'm like, there are two things that bother me in Naruto. It is Naruto x Hinata, and the fact that Naruto's like, Sasuke's the only one who was ever nice to me. Like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Sasuke was the meanest fucking person to you throughout this entire fucking series. Stop. Please just stop. Don't say he's the only one that understands you and that was nice to you, because we get so many flashbacks of everybody else being fucking nice to you.
You know what, to me, the funniest thing about that Pain scene when Hinata confesses is how Naruto is like, huh? What? Like, what do you mean? Like, he's just like, didn't see it coming, and everyone is just collectively face palming who's reading this. Like, yeah, Naruto, it was kind of obvious.
It is also such a guy thing, and I'm sorry to any guy that's listening to this, because it is such a guy thing when you don't see a girl as a romantic interest to just not notice when they're interested because they're not looking for it and they're so oblivious to it. I have seen so many of my male friends that are like, yeah, I can't really get a date. Like, I'm interested in this one girl and she turned me down. I'm like, okay, but you have these other two girls that are kind of like showing interest, and they're like, oh, when? And I'm like, literally every breath they take around you. But okay, so it's such a guy thing to have that shade down, so I totally get it, because Naruto's been so either I want to fuck Sasuke or I want to fuck Sakura, and given no shits about Hinata throughout the entire series until the last movie. So I understand the surprise there. But I feel like it's such a disservice to Hinata's feelings that it's just never brought up again. We go through so many arcs after this fight, and it's just, I don't even think they really have any interactions after that, other than like one or two within the war.
Yeah, they had like one or two interactions during the war, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. I need to reread Naruto at some point. It's been a long time. I will be able to soon. So
yeah, it's just it bothers me. I hate they do this. They do it a lot in anime, and it bothers me. And I hate that they made it canon. Like, people shit on Sasuke and Sakura, but I those two are such a trash pile. I support them more than I support Naruto X Hinata.
You know what's so funny is I was actually like going through Naruto. I'm like, is there any ship I feel strongly about with Naruto, like that I don't like? And I couldn't think of a single one. I couldn't think of a single one. I was just like, I don't know. Like I don't know if I feel that strongly about that many Naruto ships. I just have ones I like, and then that's it.
Yeah, when I used to have to write fanfic, Naruto fanfic was the most one I got requested at the time. So I delve deep in a lot of different ships in Naruto, so I have very strong feelings on a lot of them. I could have made this entire list nothing but Naruto ships that suck ass and that people should not ship, but I chose my most hated.
That sounds like me in another series.
What's your next then?
Well, then I'll just dive into the next very popular shonen series that had an endgame I disagreed with. And that's Bleach, and I don't like Ichihime. Now, mind you, I love Orihime, and I love Ichigo. I do not like them together.
Yeah, it falls in that rule of, like, it's very one-sided. I don't
Correct.
like it, so.
It is very one-sided. It's like, because the entire time, everyone's like, oh, well, Ichigo did this and did that. I'm like, Ichigo only really showed interest in Orihime, and it wasn't, like, an interest. It was, like, she was wearing a very revealing outfit, and so it made a comment about it, so he reacted to it. Other than that, like, he doesn't react to Orihime any differently than anyone else. Right. And there's a lot of other I don't know, the way that they're written, it just feels very one-sided. That, and Orihime, I think, is fantastic when she does grow, but she loses those moments of growth whenever she's with Ichigo. It's like everything she learned or she grew from gets shut off when she's around Ichigo. It's like,
right.
It's like, I love her on screen when she's by herself or doing something with other people, but when she's with Ichigo, it's like that kind of turns off, except for, I'm not gonna say it. But because you haven't finished the series.
I've spoiled almost everything Bleach wise, so it doesn't matter to anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't see it in regards to that here. And there's like all these, you can pick inside. Like, I'm not saying people who ship it are stupid, because they're not. Like, it's fine if people do ship it. I just want to say that I was very much like whiplash slapped at the end of Bleach.
She's I give it slightly more of a pass for Naruto Hinata, because when Orihime did have her confession moment, Ichigo was passed the fuck out, so he didn't have a chance to ignore it.
Yeah.
But I agree, he shows no interest in her whatsoever, and it does not fit at all. Like,
no,
I don't like one-sided shit. It's weird.
No, I didn't like it at all. I was, not happy with it. But I still like accept Bleach for what it is, and I still love Bleach. But I just didn't think that ship made sense, and I'm very toning down how much I hate this ship. I don't really want to go too far into it, because a lot of times people point at people who don't like Ichihime, and they're like, "You're just a big Ichiruki fan," which, yeah, I really like Ichiruki, but I have a Ichigo ship I like more than Ichiruki, so I wouldn't say that's the reason. But it, to me, it, like, Orihime it never made sense. But I've learned now to just accept the fact that most shonen protagonists will end up with the big boob best friend. Yeah, it's usually I've just accepted that now at this point, because it has happened twice. Well, with the last two ships we mentioned, it's like the big boobed friend who had a crush on him. Yep. So I'm like, okay, so that's the formula. I see how it is now. I should never have my hopes up for anything beyond that. I understand it now. So
I agree. Yeah. Again, just it's one of those pet peeves I don't like. I was really hoping that after Waco Mundo they would have done something with it, because it was such a sweet moment in a way. But yeah, they never went.
But they didn't. They didn't do anything with it, and that's because they could have. There was a 2-year gap, and they did nothing with it. They did nothing. They're like, oh, well, now she sometimes brings some bread. I'm like, but he doesn't do anything. Like, there's there is nothing developed. This is his chance to develop. Maybe then I'd be okay with the explanation behind it, but nothing fucking happened. There was no, and like they even like filled in that gap with like some like light novel stuff, and nothing fucking happened still. I'm like, what? The only thing that like happened that was in between was this light novel that may or may not be canon, because that's in the whole question. And it's like, but it was a single small scene, and it happened after whatever, but it's just like, it's just, if a scene in a light novel is all you got, and it's like not even a page, and it's like set after the series ends, does that really count?
You mean like the Naruto Hinata movie that's set after it ends?
Exactly. So it's just, like, they could have made Ichihime work to where it makes sense, to where, okay, you know what, maybe I do like this, but they didn't. He didn't take any of that opportunity to do anything with it, and never explored it. And that's one of the reasons I don't like it. Like, because they had the chance to do that. They had the chance to do that with a lot of other ships too. Like, but there was more support for one than there was another, and then I don't understand. It's fine.
It's really frustrating because, like, at least with Naruto, the mangaka just does not do writing romance well. Like, none of his ships are done well,
except one.
But
there's one. Go ahead.
I don't know which one you're thinking of, but for Kubo, he has written good romances in this show. He has written really good ones. Fucking Ichigo's parents. When I heard about that, I was like, oh, that's actually really fucking good. And then I actually got to see it in the anime, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so well done.
That's one of my favorite
Where the
parts.
fuck this is with Ichigo Orihime? Where is this with the main fucking character? Please. You can do it. You show the capabilities of being able to develop that and write the chemistry in, and the shown interest, and like loop it all in together into a very believable relationship. Why can't you do that for your main character?
No, he writes romance and like deep character bonds so well, but I'm also like, you write these deep character bonds that are very romantic in nature, and then you don't follow through with the romance on it, and it blows my fucking mind. I'm like, Kubo, I need to talk to your wife. I need to make sure she's okay. Like, I need to know, like, is she okay? I love you, Kubo, but like, I need to make sure your wife's okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw mine in there because this is on my list. Because you already brought it up. The only one I hate more than Ichigo Orihime stands are the Ichigo Rukia stands.
I love Ichiruki, but
I know you do, and I'm like, I know you're not gonna like this, but it's like, this is not even a one-sided thing, because they've never, like, in canon, shown any romantic interest in each other. Like, Rukia, like, of course, has not really shown any romantic, well, I guess kind of, but not really shown any romantic interest in, like, any other guys either, but she does have Renji, who obviously simping pretty hard. And then Ichigo has Orihime for him, but like, for them together, it's like, I've never seen anything that hinted at more than them being kind of like very friendly, very like mentor ex-student, very like
they make honeymoon eyes at each other all the time.
When?
Like, the scene that's really stands out is when Rukia is saying goodbye to Ichigo at the end of the Katekyo arc. Because, like, that, I've only seen those looks in, like, shoujo manga. And I'm like, that's a look.
I do not see that as honeymoon eyes. I know exactly what thing you're talking about. I'm like, that just, like, it just, that still reads very much of, like, yeah, I'm saying goodbye to a very close friend that means a lot to me. It's not like, oh man, this is the love of my life, I'm leaving. Like, I don't see it. There's never been any dialogue between them. There's never been any like hint at it. And I'm like,
I don't. I just, to me, it makes more sense in Ichihume just because there's a lot of like this is like who you are in my soul. There's a lot of, I don't know. It just makes a little bit more sense to me than Ichihume does. But like I said,
it feels the same to me. Their relationship feels the same to me as Reborn and Suna, because it's very like, as much as Reborn brings out the real Suna to make him more confident, make him be more like the real him, or be the person he knows he can be, Rukia does that for Ichigo, and I'm like, it does not feel romantic at all to me. It's very much a mentor or someone looking out for somebody that they see potential in and they want to help.
Yeah, but they're kind of, that mentorship though goes both ways, because Ichigo has also changed Rukia's life and her thinking too. So that's where I don't see that much as a mentor, like a one-sided mentorship. I see that as like growing together as people.
I guess I don't really see. I mean, he saves her ass, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even referring to that. Like,
yeah, I mean, he does that multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, he saves a lot of people's asses multiple times. Yeah.
So but I don't. I'm like, there's.
I was gonna make a crude joke and I chose not to. Sorry, continue.
Sorry. But yeah, I am more okay with the way things ended out, because I very much enjoy the Rukia Renji dynamic after seeing their backstory and like seeing how they met. And I can see her warming up, because I feel like she has the same relationship with Renji that she does Ichigo in a way, just a bit deeper. I think. I just.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I still don't support it, because it's still very one-sided to me, because I still don't fully see it, but it's like, it's the same with Ichigo or Hime. I'm like, one of y'all likes the other one does not give a shit, but I will still support that before I ship it. These two are just obviously friends, and there's nothing chemistry romantic between them at all, and I just, anyways, I'm done.
No, you're good. I just want to make a quick comment about Rukia Renji. The only reason that one's never made sense to me is I don't understand how you can forget your friend, basically your best friend, not reaching out to you and ignoring you for 30 years. Like, and like after they like, I don't know. I don't know how they could have reconciled that quickly. Like, it would make more sense if it was like over a long period of time, the reconciliation, but like to me it just didn't.
Well, I was viewed it as like, so they're not really immortal, but they live a lot longer.
Yeah, because it was like 30 years, because she was
30 years, but like 30 years when you live much longer is not going to be the same amount of time to them. So I can kind of see it, I guess. Because, I mean, if you live triple the lifespan, I've definitely not spoken to people for 3 years and then reconciled after having a big fight. And so I would chalk it up to something like that, just like time being different for them.
But even so, time still runs like the life. Even though the lifespans in the society are longer, they're not like they're. It's only a difference of like maybe 1 or 2 lifetimes. It's not that different.
Still, I would still like. Again, like, depending on the how things were reconciled or whatever, because we never really see how fully that conversation went. It's just kind of like done.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming like there's stuff that happens behind the scene since they're not the main focus. So I'm assuming there's a whole conversation that happened there, and depending on how that conversation goes, I could understand it, because again, like, I've not talked to people for years, and like, we ended on bad terms and then we reconciled and we're just like, we're good now, like, we're fine. Like, yeah, it's good. I don't fully support it. I just support it more than I support Ichigo and Rukia.
Well, on that note, do you want to do a vibe check?
Sure.
Hey, did it again!
Let's go.
Okay, so mine is a manga I read recently, and it's only a manga. It's not going to be an anime because it's what it is. So I recently got this manga in the mail, and it's an absolutely beautiful volume. It's actually 2 manga series together in like a omnibus.
Okay.
It's called Okinawa. And essentially it's comprised of 2 stories called Suna no Tsurugi and Mabui. And they're basically their counts, they're almost autobiographical. Some of them are a little more fictionalized. Some of them are based off of true stories of different things that happened in Okinawa during World War II with the Japanese and American occupation. It's very different from stuff I normally read.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're
this
like,
this is not Shio material. This is damn.
It was a fantastic read. It definitely, I didn't know a whole lot of what happened in World War II in Okinawa at all. Just because I don't really read up too much on World War II to begin with, and B, Okinawa in a lot of manga fans' brains is like the vacation islands, you know? So it was very interesting reading this and kind of learning a little bit more about what it was like to be a citizen in Okinawa during that time and how scary it was, and how a lot of them really tried to keep their heritage in the changing times, but also things they had to go through for their own safety in World War II. And a lot of the stories in this I will probably continue to take with me, because I spent like my entire day at work like just thinking about what I had just read the next day after I read a lot of it. I read it after like 5 days because it's a lot to read. But it's not like the most beautifully drawn thing in all time, but it's definitely a very it doesn't paint it's not like something like it paints America in a bad light, because it granted it does, but it also paints Japan in a bad light because Okinawa is kind of its own thing. So it's very interesting to see that perspective of everyone being a villain to them, but also like with their own internalized civilization as well. So it's such an interesting read. The author wrote it for he really wanted the author Osamu Tezuka. I'm getting their name wrong. He really wanted him to read it when he made it, but he passed away when he finished most of the stories. And a lot of this is some of them were written in the 90s, and with one of them being written in like 2010, but most of these stories are from the 90s. So it's a very beautiful new edition. And I definitely recommend everyone checking it out. I honestly think this is a book that could be taught in schools for like Asian culture, just because I think it's a very easy way to digest this information, even though some of the stories in it are fictionalized, but a lot of them are autobiographical. So
That's really cool. That's very different from what you normally.
I know. I was really excited. I really wanted to talk about this manga. I was like, I need to talk about this manga.
It's also kind of funny because mine is also something that I generally would not watch, and is very polar opposite of that because it's something I normally wouldn't watch. So as I've said before, I am currently working a month-long Netflix subscription just because I wanted to watch the One Piece live action. Mm-hmm. So I've been scrambling to find shit to actually watch on there that's I want to actually finish. And I found my 3rd series to actually watch and finish. I'm not gonna say it's great because it kind of ain't, but it definitely passed the vibe check and like kind of threw me for a loop because I was not expecting where it went. I was very convinced this was gonna be another. I'm like, I watched 3 episodes, I drop it because I did that with a lot of shows on Netflix. I was like, I'm not paying attention to this. All right, time to click on something else. It's called Romantic Killer.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, it came out like a couple seasons ago or whatever. It's about a girl who's like all she wants to do is play video games and play with her cat and eat chocolate, and like that's just the 3 great things she has in her life, and she has no interest in anything else. She gets this new dating simulator game, and this wizard pops out, and he's like, hey, we need to fix the birth rate of Japan, so we're taking away your 3 greatest desires, and you don't get them back until you romance one of the hot dudes we're gonna send your way. And she just is straight up like, no, give me my shit back. I'm not gonna fall for any dude. Yeah. Why would I do that? Just give me my games back. And she stays true to her thing. I was expecting this to be really bad. I was expecting it's gonna be some cheesy rom-com where they're gonna hold hands in the last episode, and that's all we're gonna get. Like, no, she sticks to her fucking guns and is just like, I want my fucking games. I don't care about any of these dudes. And like, they introduce 3 guys throughout the series. Pretty fleshed out guys, pretty decent. Oh, 2 of them are pretty decent. One of them's kind of annoying, but very decent built up male characters with a decent like personality trope and everything, like everything going for them. She has no interest in any of them. She's nice to them and she's like makes friends with them and everything, but she's very much just I don't want to date these guys. I want to play video games. And like all the little hijinks that are common with like romantic comedy, that, oh no, she fell on top of the hot dude, now what will happen, are caused by this fucking wizard, because he like stabs her in the foot and makes her fall over on top of the dude, and instead of like the big heart fluffy sparklies, she just makes the most hideous JoJo face at him, and the guy's just like, ew, get off of me. And it's such a good twist. I'm like, I don't want to call it a romantic comedy because there is no romance. This is 100% just a comedy. It's almost a parody in a way, which I hate parodies, but the fact that it stuck to its guns so hard, and then there was a twist, like episode like 9 or 10 that I was not expecting, that kind of hit a little close to home, and I'm like, yeah, not bad. If there's a second season, I probably won't watch it, but
there won't be.
Good.
It's only like a 4-volume manga series. I think I went and I read a little bit of it, and I thought it was genuinely pretty funny. And I liked it. I just have it leaves a sour taste in my mouth because of like manga publishing, but like as a series itself, I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Like it was pretty solid. I just
where the anime left off is perfect for me. Mm-hmm. Like it does leave on a cliffhanger, but I'm just like, this is all I need. I got full to end story on all these guys, and I've like fully flushed out. I don't want her to date any of them. I want her to get her games back though. I feel bad that she can't play her video games because I fucking feel that. Sometimes video games are more important to dudes. So I was just like, I was happy. I liked all the little hijinks that it pulled and stuff.
I never thought I'd hear you talking about Romantic Killer. When you said that, I was just like, that is not the title I thought you were going to talk about. Okay.
I have been scraping the bottom of the barrel of Netflix. Because, like, a lot of stuff on Netflix I have already watched. Because a lot of it's older, and that's, like, long-running series that I've already watched. But, like, I watched One Piece. I watched the Shaman King redo. I finished that. I finished the first season of Eden Zero, and I'm like, can't watch season 2 because it's not dubbed, and it's not on Netflix. It's only on Crunchyroll, which is not dubbed. So I'm kind of upset. And everything else I picked up, and I'm like, I watched an episode. I'm like, no, this is not gonna be it. And then like Romantic Killer, just like, I was fully prepared to drop it after an episode or 2, and I kept watching, and it kept my attention. And I was like, all right. I got 3 anime out of my month-long Netflix subscription. I'm happy with that.
You got your money's worth.
Yeah, I wish I could have got more, but yeah, Netflix, not much you can do, because I don't really feel like picking up 7 Seas again and finishing that, because it was not well done, and Castlevania is also not that good, and I've heard bad things about Record of Ragnarok, and that's something that's catered directly to me, and I watched first season, not that good. So yeah, I struggled.
Yeah, you stabbed me in the heart with 7 Seeds because I'm like, you're right, that adaptation was abysmal.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
it was so good, but the adaptation. Sorry, you hit me in my core with that one.
Yeah.
I'm still recovering.
It's fine. Netflix is done. I can get my High Dive account back up because they got a good anime that's coming out this season that I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to fucking watch it. I'm just
which one's that one?
Ragna Crimson. I don't think it's very much your speed, but
it's not on my radar, but I have seen it listed on there, and I think it looked good. But I think the reason I didn't go for it was because I already have too much on my list.
Yeah, this not to be like dated or anything, because we normally don't do this, but there's actually a decent amount this season that I'm looking forward to.
Oh, there is.
So I was quite shocked. I did my seasonal checkout, and I was like, I found quite a few I'm actually probably gonna try out.
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night when you were doing it, and to you blaring on my speakers. And I was like, why am I awake? Oh, Cyan woke me up.
I had some very strong opinions on some of the stuff, and it was...
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. But, yeah, I have at least double the anime that I want to watch from the season from the previous season, and that says a lot considering... well, actually, no, that doesn't, because there was only 3 things I watched last season. Gene of AI, the Rurouni Kenshin, and, Link Click. So... Yeah.
And that's all over the board too.
Yeah, I think I have 8 from the season that I want to watch. So we'll see. Into I think it's your turn.
Yeah. All right. So who do I want to go into? Okay, let's go into something I know you've watched. So I've been in the era. I was in the era of fan fiction for the series when it first came out. So I know all the ships that people like and don't like in the series. We're gonna talk about Attack on Titan real quick.
Oh my god.
So now I'm again pretty flexible with most of my ships. So I'm like, okay, you want to do slash, you want to do non-slash, like that's fine, like that's fine with me. The one ship that I can't stand though is Armin and Mikasa. Like, no, don't ship those two together. That just feels wrong. Like, there's just so many things wrong with that ship. I'm like, no, like, they're, like, you could ship Armin with Eren, you can ship Mikasa with Eren, you can ship those characters with other people, you can ship Eren with other people. I do not ship Mikasa and Armin together. Just,
yeah.
No, there's nothing there. There never has been there. Their tie together has always been Eren, and they've just been there's no romanticness between them. Just God.
The AOT community ships are fucking wild because I feel like they just feel a little more taboo because these characters feel a little more real than your typical shonen stuff. Where you get a lot of ships, so seeing something this serious getting as many ships as it does is uncomfortable. But yeah, I'll agree. I don't like that one. No, I can. And you don't have to like the other ships in the show, but this one's just like I can't do it. Like I've read some fanfics that were really really good and really well written. Like you could have put like OCs in those characters, and the fanfics would have still been good. Right. But when I looked and was reading it and they shipped Armin and Mikasa together, I'm like, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Like, don't do this to me. Like, this isn't believable in any universe. And I couldn't do it. And then those are the fics that I never went back and revisited. The ones I revisited were the ones that didn't ship them together. Fair. I also have an Attack on Titan ship on my list. I have a feeling I know what it is. All right, go ahead. I would be surprised if you got it. I actually wrote a joke one down on my list, but it's because I just don't want to write down these names next to each other because I hate this ship so much. And I might get this name wrong. I had to Google who this person's name was because I forgot it. Then I probably don't know it. Okay. Levi X Petra. Is I believe the name.
Okay.
Though as a joke, I put down Petra X Tree.
Ow. Ow.
Oh. There are so many people that hardcore ship Levi and Petra because like she's there for like an episode and then she, you know, lovingly embraces a tree and is never seen again. And like he has to bring back her badge to her family and they're like, "Oh, she always respected you and everything." Of course, hinting that she had feelings for him or whatever. But it's implied that he's just her like captain and she just respects him a lot and she might have that low crush on him or whatever, have feelings for him, but like there's never anything on Levi. Says there are so many Levi ships that are good.
Yeah.
Why would you go for this one? So yeah. I will stick with Petra X Tree as being more viable than Petra X Levi because at least she got railed.
Oh. I would go. Fuck you. I had something to say, and then you said that.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say of all the Levi ships, Petra and Levi is like probably the boringest.
Yeah.
Because to me it's like the safest. It's like, oh yeah, this
okay,
one. So it's like
him and the crazy doctor chick, great. I love it. That's my favorite of the Levi ships. But,
okay, yeah, that one's fine.
Like, why this one meaningless character that's there for one episode? Just she's a plot device of being like, oh yeah, this was his reality. Like this is his everyday life at this point. Because if you actually go watch his backstory stuff, this is definitely not the most gruesome death he's had to face.
Correct.
In the face of Titans. But yeah, I don't like it. Who did you think I was gonna say? I'm curious.
I thought you were gonna say you didn't like Levi and Aaron, and because that's usually the one people shit on the most.
Nah, I'm okay with that one.
I'm okay with that one too. That a lot of the fan fiction I read was that. So.
See, at least Aaron got it beat down by something other than a tree.
I mean, he got quite a lot of beatdowns. Let's be real.
He did, but he kind of liked it when Levi was hitting him.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm like flashing through my brain like all of that fan fiction I read, and I'm like, yeah, because most fanfics that the ship I didn't like is in the Aaron and Levi fanfics. I'm like, stop pairing them together.
Yeah. It's just I hate that I still see it on my timeline every now and then of just like people trying to justify this ship, and I'm like, I forgot her fucking name. It has been like, I know it's been forever since that season aired, but I forgot her fucking name. I had to Google it because I'm like, who's the one tree bitch? Because what if I just put that scene in the thumbnail?
I mean, you could. It might be a spoiler for some people, but then again, we've been talking spoilers this entire episode because you can't talk ships without talking spoilers usually.
Exactly. And they're not gonna know who she is if I showed just specifically the tree scene.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see her face.
Can't see her face. Oh.
All right, your next one.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you before I go into this one. This will decide if I go into this one or if I go into a different one. Do you plan on checking out the new Kimi ni Todoke season?
Of course not.
Okay, well then I will talk about the ship because the ship is introduced in that season.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind spoilers, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So in Kimi ni Todoke, there is a character called Kenta. He has like yellow hair, and he initially he's like the shoehorn between Kazahaya and Sawako, but also ends up being the catalyst of getting them together. So, it is what it is. The only thing is I I just really don't like him. But later on in season in like the upcoming season for Kimi ni Todoke, so if you haven't watched it or read it, this is your warning. He ends up getting later interested in Yano, because he kind of like catches her in a lot of vulnerable moments. And I just I
Isn't
don't.
that the big boob girl?
Yeah, she's the
Well,
maybe
she's
the pretty one. She's like the one everyone thinks is initially in like the beginning like a slut, but she's not.
I thought that was established in season 2 that he liked her.
No, because there was like maybe he blushed or whatever towards her, but he was interested in Sawako the entire that season.
Okay.
Ayane and him just were able to get along very, very easily.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I really don't like this ship is a lot of stuff that happened like later on in the manga, where like they're discussing like what colleges to go to, and he's just very much like he's very much holding Yano back in a way that just made me like so mad, because everyone was kind of holding each other back, but the way they were working through it like was nice, but like I just didn't like him. I just don't like him. Okay, I just don't like him, and Yano deserves better. Like anyone's better than Kenta in my opinion. So I'm like, I just don't like Kenta. So I really just don't like him and Yano together. Like, I love Kimi ni Todoke. I love it. I love it. I love it. That is probably the one thing I do not like about Kimi ni Todoke is that particular ship for a while. So, but yes, I don't like them together, and I wanted to talk about that because that one was like when I was like, what? I was struggling. This is when I was struggling, and I was like, what's a and then I saw that, and I immediately was like, visceral reaction, like, oh yeah, no, I don't like that shit. I had a reaction to it where I like was like burned, and I'm like, oh no, yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So, I love Yano. I don't like Kenta, and I think she deserves better than Kenta.
My next one, I think you'll agree on, but I think you'll also just hate the series. We have a mutual that will probably not like this take, but it's a good thing he doesn't listen to this podcast, so I can talk all the shit I want. Kazuya x Mommy from Rent a Girlfriend. Because you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Is that bad? That's exactly who I thought we were talking about too.
Yep. So
go ahead.
Gross. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I'm in season 2 of Rent a Girlfriend, and main character kind of made to be unlikable. I don't mind him as much. He just seems really realistic. I feel like most of the people that dislike him are guys that probably relate to him and they don't want to admit it.
Well then I'm the outlier in that dislike club.
Because I like they find him uncomfortable because like he makes a bunch of bad decisions, but if I had $1 for every time one of my male friends made a bad decision on what girl to date or whether to date a girl or not, I'd be fucking rich. Like, my male friends have some of the worst taste in women possible, and they will immediately go to the most toxic bitch, and that's Mommy. Mommy is just the most toxic, manipulative female in this entire series. Granted, I don't really like any of the ships in Rent a Girlfriend. I kind of like watching the dumpster fire that is happening, and I can't wait to see them all burn. And I don't. I'm gonna be really upset if he actually ends up with any of the girls permanently. But if he ends up with Mommy, I will give up anime altogether if I watch it that far. If I give up on Rent a Girlfriend before then, it does not count. But if I watch it through and him and Mommy are in game, anime was a mistake. I agree with Hayao Miyazaki. This is fucked up. Because this is so bad. Because they're both horrible characters. And I can get behind two horrible characters getting together. But, like, he's just a dumbass. And she's just wants the attention from every guy possible. And I'm like, the scene when he has the one girl at the bar with them, and Mommy's just straight up just talking shit about Kazuya the entire time. Just like, oh yeah, remember you used to be pervy to me, blah blah blah. And the fact that his rental girlfriend stood up from him because it was so obvious, like their entire friend group, the fact that they're like, mommy's fine, like after she's doing this shit, and then like main girl steps up and like, bruh, what the fuck is wrong with you? How can you talk about him like this around all of his friends? What the hell is like wrong in your brain? And like everyone in that friend group is just like, oh, poor mommy, she's gonna cry. I'm like, fuck y'all all, man. This entire cast is fucked up. Yeah. I can't stand it. I can't stand females like that. I can't stand seeing them in anime characters. I don't like Kazuya, but he deserves better than that shit.
I don't like Kazuya at all. That's the reason. He is the reason I'm not continuing Rent a Girlfriend. Because I'm just like, I don't understand his appeal, and I'm like, why are you dating this guy, girls? Like, there is, granted, the ones who are rented, like, you can't control that, but
Yeah.
like, but I'm like, why? I don't get it. It's fine. And if people relate to him and that's whatever, it's fine. It doesn't make you like a bad person or anything. But I'm just like a lot of the stupid decisions he makes, I'm just like, I would either be like pelting your head, like, what the hell are you doing, man? Or just being like, staying far away.
Yeah.
Like, we may all make mistakes, but I
want to see him grow as a character. I do. I hope it happens. Again, I'm only in season 2. I'm not that far into it.
I have read volume 1, and that's it. So you're farther than I am.
Yeah, I like it. It seems like he is getting better, in my opinion. Like, he's still making a bunch of bonehead decisions, but like, it does feel like he's growing as a person in a way. Just every time he takes a couple steps forward, it seems like mommy's right there to be like, oh, look at my tits in the bikini. You remember that time you said you wanted to touch my boobs? Well, here they are. And I'm just like, bitch, can you fuck off? Like, you're not even that attractive. You look like a 3-year-old. Go away. Yeah, I'm here for the dumpster fire, and mommy is the dumpster fire, the biggest dumpster fire. Anyways, that's for my trash taste. What's your next?
Let's see. Okay. Since we're on kind of weird romances where they're almost harem-esque, I will talk about a harem-esque romance.
Okay.
So Nisekoi has a plethora of ships to pick from.
Oh boy.
So I obviously have a favorite, but in like a team that I'm on, but there's one that just particular pairing that drove me crazy, and it's not the one that drives most people crazy, but this one just bugged me. And it is Ichijo with Onodera, the childhood friend's sister.
Okay.
The fact
yeah,
it just made me so mad because like he had a crush on Onodera like for a while, and like the sister's like, I don't understand about like this guy that you like, and da 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 da, and like she's like, oh well, like he's not that bad. I kind of have a crush on him too. And I'm like, how dare you do that to your sister? How dare you? Like, you know your sister likes him, and now you're developing feelings for him, and then for me he's like, and like he had the crush on the one girl, and then like him potentially, I'm like, no, this is if you go forth with this, you are not a good person. Just no, stop, don't do this. Onodera is not even my pick either, but I'm like, how dare you do this to Onodera?
Yeah, that's weird.
Like there's other ships to not like in there because there's other ones I don't, but this one is to me takes the cake. I'm like I can deal with that one. Any time though there was a chapter with her sister in it though, I immediately was like, here we go again. it wasn't. I generally did not have a good time in any chapter she was involved in, not because of her, but like whenever she had like a romantic feelings or whatever for the main character, I immediately was like, I hate this so much. Please let me just get through this chapter so we can move on to a different character, preferably my character, and we can move on. So, yes.
Fair.
So that is my anti-ship in Nisekoi. He could have ended up with any. I mean, I don't know who he ended up with, but he could have ended up with anyone, and as long as it wasn't her, I would have been fine. I've been like, oh, that sucks. I'm upset because they didn't end up. But like, I've been like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. But if he ended up with that character, I would have been like, well, she wouldn't have. Like, there's no way he would have. But I would have blown a gasket. I would be like Nisekoi #1 hater. If that happened,
God.
I'd be like, Ciao, Nisekoi. That'd be me.
Oh my god.
So-
Valid though. My next one, I'll go with my my Code Geass take.
Oh, okay.
Which, given my previous statement of what I hate the most of one-sided relationships or interest.
Oh, I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Very obvious. Fuck Lelouch X Shirley.
Yeah.
It's like Lelouch essentially almost has a harem at this point as well.
Pretty much.
But like, of all the girls that he is shipped with, you have this one girl who's shown simping for him from episode 1, where he just like does not give her the time of day. He's just like
he really doesn't.
So bored with her, and she is so like, she's Hinata if Hinata was even more stalkery than she was. Hinata's already hiding behind fucking trees watching Naruto every time he does something. Shirley's like, I'm taking pictures of you when you don't know, of you sleeping and having them posted in my fucking dorm, and I have an entire diary talking about you. Like, woman, chill. This is fucking creepy. And like, but it's not cute. I'm like, her ending, I'm so happy with her ending because it got fucking rid of her.
I'm going to say I don't think the diary thing's creepy because I definitely, when I was younger, wrote in my diary about guys all the time.
I mean, writing about guys is one thing
that I liked,
but but writing about them like in your diary normally is a thing. But it's from what we've saw of the diary, her entire thing is like the equivalent of future diary. You know, Yunagasai's diary, where she just keeps track of everything Yuki does. That feels like what her diary is from what we were able to read into it. Like, she was so confused. Like, why is every chapter just what he did every day? Like, why is this weird? I'm like, because it's fucking weird, dude. You should not have an entire diary just stalking this dude of like, oh, he talked to me today. Oh, he had this for lunch today. Like, that's fucking weird.
I was definitely a very weird kid then.
Oh my god.
I don't do that anymore. No, but I was a very weird kid.
But like, yeah, she had a fucking photo collage on her wall of just like him sleeping and him randomly eating stuff, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I didn't.
He does not even acknowledge you exist half the time. You're just another person on the student council, and it's so uncomfortable. Like, granted, I don't really have a ship for Lelouch in this series per se, at least not a healthy one. But like, all of them are more valid than hers for Lelouch, at least. I will take an incest ship with Lelouch before I'll take a Shirley ship with Lelouch. I will not say which incest ship I will take, but I will take an incest ship.
Yeah, I didn't. For me, it was more part of the story. It wasn't just like, if I have to pick someone to ship Lelouch with, Um, it, yeah, I'm not gonna venture that one out loud. So I was like, yes, they have come for me and from the depths of hell, and yes, that's that.
Valid.
The yeah, no, I don't really have a strong feeling about that, but I do know that of Lelouch's female ships, I think Shirley is the one I care for the least.
Yeah, it's weird. I can't do it. But yeah, I don't like the one-sided thing, so it makes me uncomfortable completely. As your next.
Since I was already pulled into the depths of hell, I'm going to stay there for a second. And talk about a particular ship in a very popular yaoi series.
Oh boy.
Called Sekaiichi Hatsukoi.
Oh my god. Wow.
I, to the depths of my heart, despise Yokozawa and Takano together.
Trying to remember which ones those were.
Takano is like the main couple ship. He's like the editor-in-chief guy.
Okay.
And then Yokozawa is the publisher guy who's like went to college with Takano.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like how Yokozawa feels entitled to Takano just because they went to college together and whatever. Now, mind you, Yokozawa has a fantastic ship later, and I love it to death. But I don't think his obsession to Takano, especially since Takano like doesn't want him to be doing any of this. He's like, why are you trying to control my life? Like, I want to see this person, I want to do this, and why are you making this more difficult? Like, you're crossing boundaries. I don't like them together. I don't think they have good mesh. I just don't think they go well together. And and I don't like them together. So I like that whole first part of Sekaiichi Hatsukoi whenever Yokozawa was on the screen or like on the page, I was just like,
oh my god.
It was just rage. And now that Yokozawa is kind of like in his own pairing, it's not as bad. But like I really hated Yokozawa at the beginning. I just, especially with Takano. Now I love Yokozawa, but I don't have to. But it's because he's not with Takano. So, but like I really don't like him with Takano, which I think most people are in agreement with that. I don't think that's like a hot take. I think it's a pretty cold take. But yeah, I really don't like that shit.
Fair. I don't think I had any strong feelings for any of the ships in there, but I'm also, when I'm watching shonenai or a yaoi, I'm just like, ooh, hot dudes, cool. I'm for this. It's been a while since I've had problems with like ships in regards to that. So, but it's also been a while since I've ventured into those series. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like little ships that I don't like that come up here and there in like BL. But they're not any I feel strongly about. You're like, oh, yeah. I hated that, but that didn't last very long because that's not the plot. So like, it's nothing I can really feel like about. But this one went on long enough that I can feel about. So
yeah,
I was like, no.
I'm gonna do one that might get me some hate. And it's gonna get me hate because it's probably gonna make some people mad because it definitely means I'm going the opposite direction with this ship. We're going Inuyasha. Shishomaru x Kagura. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I'm indifferent, so go off.
I'm like, there's never been really any romantic development between the two of them. Shishomaru has shown no care for Kagura whatsoever. He's like nearly almost killed her a couple times. I think he like kind of saved her once, But that's just because Shishomaru is actually just a big softie who just can't be bothered. And Kagura, like, she just wants free from Naraku. She doesn't have any actual... She makes, like, a comment about him being, like, beautiful or something, I think. It's been forever since I've watched Inuyasha. I remember she does make a comment about, like, his... I don't know if his physical looks or, like, his strength being appealing or whatever.
But that's, just a statement that we would all make.
Yeah! And, like, Shishomaru gives zero fucks. He's just like, she washed up in the river, and he just like, oh, you're not dead, and then he walked away. Literally the same care he could give to a fucking flea. And I get Shishomaru doesn't really have a main ship in the main series. He doesn't really need one, you know?
No, he is shipped with the viewer. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's okay sometimes for guys to just be single and happy. He has no need for a romantic. Now, granted, there is now a canon where he has a significant other. Now, some people are mad about it, but that's another story. Regardless, in the main story, you don't, just because main character Inuyasha has a fucking dead lady and a teenage girl to swoon after, does not mean his brother needs the same. His brother can be fine. Shishomaru can just be fluffy and on his own with his little imp and his dog dragon thingy.
Yeah, we don't need to spare the pairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine. There are a lot of other problematic ships in Inuyasha, but this is just the one that's always bothered me because it's been there for such a long time, and it resurged when Yashahime came out, and people were like, oh, no, but what about this pairing? And I'm like, you do realize what happened to Kagura at the end of Inuyasha, right? yeah, you realize how that ended.
Yeah, ships don't have to make canonical sense, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just... I don't know, it's... Again, there's no chemistry between the two of them romantically. There's no reason for it. They met, like, twice in 150 episodes? And Inuyasha might even be longer than that, I don't fucking know. But, like, not really necessary. What's your next?
So now I'm just kind of going through my slim pickings niche ones, but I'll go with this one, because this one's still, kind of talked about, but not really. I'm gonna talk about the very, very popular swimming anime, Free.
Oh no.
I really do not like Haru and Makoto together.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I just... Haru has other priorities.
Yeah.
Makoto, I could see, like, Makoto one-sided, but I don't like it with Haru. Like, I think Makoto is a great character. I think Makoto would be great with the viewer.
I think Makoto's great with the sister.
Oh, that'd be cute. I have other things I like for her, but, like, I think that could work out. You could convince me on that one.
Well, I mean, he gets with the sister, Haru gets with his man, and then they're brother and sister, brother and brother. You know?
Yeah, they're actually, like, related. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you got what I put down too. So I'm glad you got what I put down. So.
I got you.
We got you. But yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't see it. Like, I think Haru and Makoto are good friends, but I literally see nothing on Haru's side towards Makoto at all.
Yeah.
And Makoto is very what's that phrase that they use? He's very himbo.
Oh my god.
And he's very himbo, and I adore that about him, but I don't think himbo goes with oblivious waterman.
No. I read a fan fiction once. Actually, I heard this fan fiction once of a voice actor actually reading this fan fiction. between Haru and his love for water.
Yes! I love that one!
And that one's more believable than him and Makoto.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know this fanfic, you Google it on YouTube and you'll find a con panel on it.
It's so good. It's so glorious. I think I have a whole Tumblr page dedicated to that, to Haru, Nanase, and water.
I just hear that Haru took the silence as a yes. Oh my god.
Which only works when it's water.
Yep. Only works with water.
Yeah, I like it. I know there's some people out there who are very big fanatics of that ship, but I'm not one of them. I'm very, very team Harurin in all regards. Okay. As you are.
For my next, I want to, because I know you're familiar with the series, but I don't know how like caught up you are on the series. Fairy Tail.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything in 100 Years Quest beyond like first few volumes, but I've read the entire series.
Okay, so Natsu X Lasana.
Yeah, I almost put that one down. I almost put that one down, and then I was like, I mean, I don't feel that strongly about it, but no, I agree on that one.
Yeah, I would have been happy if she had never came back. You know, I've been perfectly fine without that.
I don't know. Did she do anything after she came back?
No. She just makes her brother and sister happy. She's back. Natsu and her don't really share anything after that either, because it's like, you would think if, especially, like, even with them being friends, that he would have more of a reaction to her coming back. Because the whole thing is, Natsu and Lasana were friends as kids, and they found this egg, and they did this whole, like, role-playing thing, as children do, of, like, she's gonna be the mommy, he's gonna be the daddy, and they had the egg that's gonna be the baby, and they're gonna start a house together. And they're, like, 5, and that's normal for 5-year-olds.
It is normal.
And then Happy hatches from the egg, and that's their baby, and then they're just, like, you know, tragedy happens, Lasana's gone, and they just think she's dead. Like, for all rights and purposes, they think she's dead. And then Natsu goes on with his life, and, you know, he meets Lucy, and he's, like, living a happy life. And then all of a sudden, Lasana's not dead. She was just trapped in another world. Her ass got fucking isekai'd, and she's back now. And again, Natsu's like, hey, you're back. You're back in the guild. Cool. Never talk to you again. And then people were like, they had that one moment when they were 5. They were better pairing than Natsu and Lucy. And I'm like, no, they're fucking not. Natsu is constantly trying to see Lucy naked in the bath. What do you fucking mean?
Yeah, because as kids play the mommy, daddy, baby thing with anyone, they play that with their family members. Like,
yeah,
like
I played that with my cousins.
I did too. I was like sitting there like, I did that with my cousin, man, because you know, a lot of times when if you have cousins the same age, you get babysat with your other cousins of the same age. So like a lot of times like it's just like doesn't mean a whole lot. So
yeah, no, that does not mean anything. It's
I think
fine.
their childhood friends relationship is cute, but I don't like them as a ship.
It is. I like Lasana for like her whole story between their siblings as well, and how much like Mary Jane's background was and all that. That was really cool. Like, I liked how she got into that kind of magic. Her and Elfenwolf got into that kind of magic to make their sister feel more comfortable and everything. It's really sweet. I hate Lasana now because of the fucking shippers between Natsu and Lasana. Don't want to ship like, no, Natsu needs to end up with Lasana, a lot Lucy, because, you know, when they were 5, she said they were gonna be wife and husband, and I'm like, yeah, I said I was gonna marry my dad too when I was 5. That definitely did not happen.
I think most girls will say that when they grow up.
Yep. Like, it's you don't take childhood comments as reality in confirmation. Like, childhood friends to lovers is a really good thing. I do like it. But no, not in this case.
Yeah, not in this case. There's better dynamics out there.
Yeah.
So.
I think we got time for one more round.
More round. All right. Okay, then I'm gonna do this one. Because the other ones I don't feel as strongly about, except that one. But I don't want to open up that can of worms. So you know this series. You know the series. The series Kuroko no Basket.
Oh boy.
They also have a very big shipping culture.
Yep. As sports anime do.
Most sports anime do. I wasn't really strong in like the shipping thing. I just like saw people together. I'm like, I like that dynamic. I like that. Well, what I didn't like is I didn't like Aomine and Kuroko.
Yeah, no.
I didn't like that one. I was like, no, I don't like this one. I like you guys with other people. I don't like this one. This one, no.
It's a little too aggressive on one side.
It's too blue.
It's too aggressive on one side for me.
Yeah.
Not the fun kind of aggressive that works with Kuroko.
Yeah. So I didn't care for that one. Yeah, I just thought they go better with other characters, and I just every time I see it, I'm like, I don't see it.
I agree. It's uncomfortable.
No.
Like, there's so many good ones with both of them.
Yes.
Just not with each other.
Correct.
So many.
I'm just like, oh, I like that one with that one. Oh, I like that one with that one, and then that one. I'm like, I like that one. I like that one too. Just those two. Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what I have a lot to say about, but it's one that I think needs to be said.
I'll agree with that one.
Mm-hmm.
My list right now is really interesting because what's left on my list is one from a series I love that I know is probably gonna piss people off because it's a beloved ship, and then the rest of them are all series I don't like, but I hate the ships even more. But they are also well loved. So it's like, do I want to piss off the community that I like, or do I want to piss off the community that I don't like?
It's okay. My list was I have one that I know it's gonna open up a can of worms conversation with you because I know you don't like that series. But I don't like that ship from it. And then one of them is one we both don't like. That you would agree with me. One of them is most people have never heard of the series in their life. I know one person who has. One of them is another series that I've never seen anyone else talk about other than myself. And the other one ties back to the opening.
Alright, how about this? I'll give my argument for one, and then we can speed run the rest of the ones on our list.
Okay.
So, like, we don't have to give explanation, just like, these are the rest of them, because I'm curious what else is on your list.
Okay.
Alright, I'll do the one from the community that I hate, but I hate the ship more. And it's my number one reason why I dog on this community. Because why would I not want to shit on isekais even more than I already do? Subaru x the blue-haired maid. I forgot her name.
I'm laughing because on my list I have Subaru and anyone. That was one of them.
Listen. I've only watched season 1 of ReZero, and everyone who told me to watch this, they're like, oh my god, Subaru and I don't know if it's Rim or Ram, they literally are the same character, just like different colors. I don't know, whichever one is the blue-haired one.
She's the one with the E.
Okay, Rim. They're perfect together. It's so sad that they don't get the thing, and I'm like, of all the females in the series, she is the one that deserves him the fucking least. Because one, again, known trope of he has no interest in her, has actual interest in somebody fucking else very vocally, and then she's like, oh, I love you so much, and then he's like, yeah, sorry, I love the other girl, and she's still like, well, I'll still love you forever, and I'm like, you fucking dumbass, please get off this show. You don't deserve to be here. Like, I don't feel bad for forgetting your name at all, because please, you don't deserve this man at all. Like, granted, he is also very interested in somebody who is not interested in him and does not give up. But, like, from the first season that I've seen, at least, is her name
Amelia?
Amelia. She at least has a decent character that's established. I don't know, beyond season 1, she might lose her character altogether and pull a 0-2. I don't know.
You've watched more than I have, so
yeah. But like, I don't know. But at least she has an established character from the beginning. Like, all blue-haired maid has done is attack him and then been like, "Yeah, I love you," and then him be like, "No," and she's like, "Oh, but I still love you, regardless. It's fine." And I'm like, bitch, get a life, please.
I don't like Subaru at all, and I don't think any girl should have the fate of being with him.
Fair.
So
I don't care for any of the females in this series to care whether they end up with him or not. I just don't want this one to be with her, because like, it's bad enough you're confessed your love, but you're also just immediately acknowledging, yeah, I'm still gonna love you even though you love somebody else. That's fine. I'm like,
no.
No. You got actually rejected. At least Naruto just did not acknowledge. If Naruto had told Hinata, like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go like dig down Sakura right now, and Hinata was just like, all right, I'll see you in like 10 years in the movie, and then you'll change your mind. Like, fuck Hinata even more, but like, that didn't happen. All right. It's funny that you said you had Subaru X anybody, because I also have every ship in My Hero Academia.
Oh. I went through that series, and I'm like, I didn't have anything I felt strongly about, except I just didn't like a character and then want anyone. But I was like, that's just
every ship I've ever seen, I just don't like.
Okay, so since we're speed rounding, the one I had that was gonna open a big can of worms was Aqua Ruby from Oshinoko. Like, fuck that ship. No. Don't ship siblings. No.
I wouldn't care either fucking way.
I know you wouldn't care either way, but I'm just like, no, nah.
I also have Luffy X anybody.
Okay, that's fair.
Please stop shipping Luffy with his crewmates. It's weird.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't have a Luffy ship, so I just don't. Next one I had was it's from Kimi no Irumachi, and it's Haruto and Nanami. So it's like the girl he has a crush on in the beginning of the series versus like the girl that like changes his world or whatever. Yeah, I didn't like him with the childhood friend, because she wasn't interested. And then she creates problems later, and I'm like, why? You weren't interested. It's fine. Okay, go ahead.
The one from the series that I really like, but I know people would not like that I hate this ship, and it's Misa X Light.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like, Misa, like, he has no interest in you other than the fact he's using you. Like, girl, find someone who loves you.
Yep, please.
Please.
Like, don't open yourself to be manipulated just for some dick. It's not worth it.
Nope.
Go play a video game.
Especially someone who just flips through a naughty magazine for like 10 minutes and is like, there you go, I did it. And you're like, no, you didn't. So my next one is Kai and Shuhei from Piano no Mori. So it's like the two main character kids in Piano no Mori. Some people ship them, but I don't care for them being shipped together. That's just like a personal gripe. I don't usually mind that kind of stuff, but this one in particular, I'm like I don't like them together.
Fair.
So I love them as like platonic friends who are rivals, but I don't like them romantically together.
Yeah. My next one's from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it's Alphonse X May, which is the small little girl with the panda.
Okay, yeah.
I hate that ship. Many things are wrong with Brotherhood. That is one of them.
Yeah, that one for me kind of very felt spare the pair kind of.
Mhm.
But I mean there was some like story to back it, but I don't have a strong
Yeah.
feeling about that one.
She's too young. I know he's young too, but she's too young. Baby.
The last one that I have is from Idolish 7. It's the yellow-haired character Nagi. I particularly don't like him with the orange-haired one, Mitsuki. But I don't really like Nagi with anyone because he is for all women. Like,
God.
hey girl, like no, like that. He shouldn't. I can't see him with any of the guys. Like Nagi is just very like, ladies are what I'm hunting. Like, like I can't picture him with any of the Idol 7 guys.
Yeah.
So or the other characters. Like he's just, to me, he's just forever like a ladies man.
Right.
So so yeah, that was the one I didn't like, and it's the one that ruins the fan fiction for me. So
my final one is actually from the original Digimon series, and it is my first ship that I've ever hated in my life. It is Yamato x Sora. It's a ship that only exists in canon because the main writer actually said the only reason this is a ship is because he doesn't like the trope of making the main girl date the main guy. So he made the main girl date the second guy. But he built up no chemistry between the two of them. He just threw it in there at the end.
oh yeah.
So gross.
Just like if you're gonna do it, like at least get a little bit like throw something else in there.
Yeah, no, they just like randomly start like, yeah, she's leading the main guy on the entire time, and just like on the side piece, just like, yeah, I'm sending him presents and showing up to his shows, and ignoring emails from the guy that I'm been shipped with from the beginning. Fucking hate it. Gross. Don't do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, that goes through. These are the ships that make us go brr. Or just ships like we just don't care for too much here. And kind of like the reasoning behind it. And see, we can disagree too. We disagreed on a few. We agreed on most of them, but we disagreed on too.
I mean, we can both agree Petra X Tree should not exist.
I mean, that means she'd live, right?
Depends on how hard she gets railed the next time.
Jeez, Lord. So this was Rice Ball Conflict. I'm Shio, and that's Cyan. You can find us on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and Google Podcast. We are RiceCon Podcast on Twitter. And,
let's go.
And we are Rice Ball Conflict on everything else. And Cyan, where can they find you?
I am Cyan Kincaid on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Right, and I am Lady Shio on Twitter and Shurins on everything else. So thank you for tuning in. What are the ships that you don't like? Let's ignite ship wars in the comments, please.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, I am opening up the floodgates to war in the comments. But no death threats, guys. No death threats. Like don't do that. But like be kind, but also we're opening the floodgates for war in the comments. So go for it. I like to see your guys' arguments until you take it too far. All right. So this has been Raceball Podcast, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night.
Bye.